Hey, this is Prak with iRepairMD, and today we have a Mavic 2 Zoom, or it could be a Pro controller. And the biggest problem with the Mavic controllers or DJI controllers, which they're working on trying to fix, is that these USB pen right here, these are the micro USB, and if you stick them in the wrong way, they will break, and then your controller, you're not able to charge it, and some cases you won't be able to plug it into your phone. However, as far as using as data cable, you can use a USB port. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace the USB daughter board on a Mavic 2 controller. Stay tuned. All right, so for this controller repair, you're gonna need a new Mavic 2 daughter board with the USB built in. And these are very, very, very hard to get. So you would have to probably order directly from the DJI store in China. But again, these are impossible to get. So I have a very limited supply. If you need one, just give me a call. But in the future, I will do a video where I'm going to show you guys how to replace just the USB jack, okay? But right now we're going to do the whole daughter board. But what you're going to need is a H1.5 hex screw, and also the regular Phillip, micro Phillip, and the tool set for this. What we're going to do first is we're going to go straight to the H1.5, the hex screw, and we're going to start off with the base right here. And this is the cap. This is where the two ports that you need to access to make it happen. Just go ahead and pull it out. Okay, so now go ahead and lift it out. Lift out carefully. There we go. Put it into this bin. And then the other side. Okay, so I'm trying to give you the best camera angle possible so you don't miss out. Other tutorial will not give you the angle you need. So what I'm trying to do is trying to give it from perspective from where I would see it. And since you guys are actually getting a better view than me, let's go ahead and lift up this. Okay, so now we have that out. So what we need now is to access, we're gonna pull out this plate, this whole plate right here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go ahead, use the H screw. Don't be afraid to damage it, because you won't. Just go ahead and just lift up the clamshell. Okay, just pull it out of the shell. Okay, there's going to be a locking system up here, so you want to pull it from the bottom, free the USB port. There you go. You see this comes off, and we'll put it back on. We'll put it on the same way we took it off. And now this is very crucial, okay? When you take this off, what you want to do is make sure that when you pull this, what you need to do is go ahead and take the Phillips screw off first. Don't just pull off the plate. Now with the Phillip, go ahead. There's two Phillip screws, one on each side. Okay. So let's go ahead. And now on the other side, also the Phillip screw. Okay. And unlike the Mavic 1 controller, what you need to do prior to pulling this off is you would need to free the connector cable right here. So see these right here? These are very sensitive, so just go ahead pull this off carefully. Okay. That controls the stick. Go ahead and carefully pull it off. Okay. One. And here's on the other side. Just go ahead and pull it off carefully. Okay, that's the second one. Okay, now we need to pull this off. Okay, and this is the joy controller or joystick. Let's go ahead and just lift it off lightly. There you go. We're going to replace it again. Okay, now everything is coming off. Now let's go ahead and just open this up. Okay. Open up carefully. Now the controller comes right off. Controller plate. Okay, see, now you can see why we need to detach the other port, but also you're gonna rip it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in a safe place. And so what we want to do is, what we're replacing is just this board right here. Okay, so we have the new board here that we're going to replace. First thing we need to do is go ahead and free this cable here. And this is a flex cable. You need to pull the flip here. And now let's go ahead and pull it off carefully. And then you also, on this side, you have a two Phillips screws, and then you have a connector that you have to loosen. And let's go ahead and free the two Phillips screws to lift up the bracket. So what I want to do is lift up this L bracket that's keeping the connector secure, and that's where this board interacts with the main board. Okay, so this one here, go ahead and use a pry tool for this. Okay, and just push it up to lift, like that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is go ahead and free 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? All right, this is a Phillip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's the last one right here, which is the 6th one. Okay, let's go ahead and take that out. All right, now go ahead and lift this off. We will be reusing this pause and play and record button right here. So let's go ahead and lift that off, but let's go ahead and take the whole thing off first, and we'll remove that later. Okay, so go ahead and lift this off carefully. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put this out of play for now. Let me show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna transfer. You can see the old one has this bad broken jack. You can see clearly now. Okay, and excuse my finger. Haven't had a chance to have it work on since the quarantine, which is a joke. I never had my nails worked on. Okay, so you can see where it breaks at. So what we need to do is replace. So this is the new one. Let's go ahead and pull the socket off. Switch off here. double-sided adhesive, resting. Just pull it carefully. See, it's adhesive holding onto it. Pretty strong adhesive. Let's go ahead and put this into place. There we go. Let's go ahead and put this back in. All right. And then put the button back on. The pause and play button back on. There we go. And now make sure the adhesive is nice and secure. So is the play button. All right, so now we got everything we need out of this. Let's go ahead and put it back onto the board itself. Okay, controller back in. Let's go ahead and rest it. And again, let's go ahead and secure all the screws before we put all the before to put all the wires back in place. So then put the Phillip back in. All right. Make sure everything is resting well before you put it. Here we go. One. You don't want to touch this screen either. Try to keep as much of the LCD free from any debris and your fingerprint, because once you put the cover back on, it's going to be shielded where you can't get to it. All right, so we have 3 more screws to put in. 3 more Phillips. All right, so that Phillips is right here. Let's go ahead and let's put this aside. Okay, we have time to reassert this button. Oh, let's go ahead and fix it. Cause so this, let's go ahead and there we go. Now it's resting properly. Let's go put the 4th Phillip in. Okay. And there we go. Now it's resting. All right. This is the last one. All right, so now let's go ahead and put the main connector back in, and then the L bracket back on here. And this is the L bracket. And then it's Phillip fastener. Okay. Again, if you need the part, I might not carry it in stock, but if I do, I would be glad to sell them to you. My next video, I will show you how to replace the actual port, but you're going to need some advanced tool. You'll need a heat nozzle and a nice microscope to make that happen. Let's go ahead and put the ribbon cable back in. Okay, make sure this gated lock is flipped up, and then let's put the ribbon cable, match it to the white meets the edge, and then put it in place. All right, and so now let's go ahead and put the top controller off. Blow any debris that's out of the way, do a final inspection. Then let's go ahead and put the top clamshell back on here. All right. Now snap it back into place. as we do. Okay. And then let's go ahead and put the play button on the joystick back into here. Okay. You want to spin it just right so it fits without dislodging. There you go. Okay, now flip it over. Then we're gonna put the Phillips screw to secure it back in. There. Phillips screw on the right side. Right there, and then on the left side right here, the final Phillips screw. All right, so now let's go ahead and put the joystick connector back in. Okay, and so the way we connect this is we make sure, again, you remember how we put this in. This, okay, is connected in where the exposed wire, like we have here, is in the bottom. Flip it over. Go ahead and seat it back in. Seat it in carefully. There we go. Same on the other side. Okay. You got the exposed side. You got the exposed wire side of the connector right here. And then you have the unexposed side, okay? You want the exposed side on the bottom and the unexposed side on top. Like I'm doing it here. Let's go ahead and insert it back in. All right. There we go. Okay. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just make sure the black is on the inside, okay? The black cable is on the inside as far as the connector on the right. Black is always facing the left side and the white's on the right. And the same on this side, okay? So now let's go ahead and put the hex screw, the H screw back in. And this will close off. Oops. Now let's go ahead and put the clamp, the final clamp on. So again, locking from the top. You want to lock it and then you want to push it in. You want to hear a snap. You should feel a snap if you don't hear it. Okay. You can see all this now is locking in place. All right. Everything is locked. Now let's go ahead and put the bay covers back on. Okay. Left and right. Put them back on. And then let's go ahead and switch off to the H screw. Right here. Put the hex screws back into place. And then the other one also. And there you go. Now we have a working USB port on the controller. Let's go ahead and test it out. Make sure that it is charging. Okay. Let's power this up. I'll plug it in. So when you plug it in, make sure the flat side is in the bottom. Okay, and then seat it carefully. And you can see it's now charging. Anyways, this is Prac with iRepairMD, and what you saw was how to replace a bad USB port daughter board with a new one. Safe flying and safe repair. And be safe.